So I just spent the weekend here in Alberta, in southern Alberta, Tabor, preaching a series of messages there on marriage, and just had a really great time with some really fantastic people. They were very generous to us, very hospitable and kind, and very warm and receptive, which was a real blessing to me. I'm repeating words because I want to emphasize how much of a good time we had and how refreshed we both feel. I say my wife and I, but even the children just had a really nice time. We enjoyed it very much, and can't thank the people enough for receiving us well, and even more so than receiving us well, for receiving the Word of God well. I spent the weekend focusing on the idea of marriage, but marriage in light of the gospel, knowing that Christ and the church is the ultimate example of what marriage should be. At the end of chapter 5 of Ephesians, the Apostle Paul, after describing what marriage is supposed to function like, husband being the head of the wife submitting herself to her husband, and all those little nuancy things he says on how we should respond to one another in the marriage, he says, but I speak, this is a great mystery, but I speak concerning Christ and the church. And so really, when you're doing marriage, you're doing something extraordinary. On one hand, I pointed out that we're actually obeying the original mandate to be fruitful, to multiply, to replenish the earth. We are completing the image of God, male masculinity, female femininity. You put the two together and you have a complete image of what God is like. When God made male and female, when it says that when God created man, male and female created he them. So man is actually a two-part unit. When you put the two together, you get the one true image of God. Some people would push back on this and say, well, the Apostle Paul uplifts singleness as a high calling, and I don't doubt it. There's a few people that I've met and known through history that gave their lives to the service of the church and to reaching people with the gospel. But they're still dedicated to the idea of marriage, because the ultimate picture of marriage is Christ in the church. So even someone who fully dedicates themselves to singleness, and I don't believe that is stay single and have a career, I believe that is stay single and minister wholly, completely to the church and to reaching people with the gospel. The Apostle Paul says that way you can give yourself wholly to the Lord, completely to the Lord, serving him full time. So the ideal situation to portray the full and complete image of God is found in marriage. And so here I am in one of the most beautiful places in the country, maybe the world. This is Lake Louise. Typically in the summer, this would be all blue and shiny and very gorgeous. Even now, it's just magnificent. It's beautiful. One of the things I pointed out in encouraging men to dwell with their wives according to knowledge was to realize that here I am traveling the world, being able to see such an extraordinary place. But there's a song by Andrew Peterson in which he says this, that he really became a world traveler when he gave the golden ring to his bride and then he started searching her heart. And so when you dwell with your wife according to knowledge and you get to know the depths of her soul, it's more magnificent than this. There's more beauty in an individual, in a soul of an individual created in the image of God than there is in all of creation. The whole earth is full of his glory. All of it shouts about God and his goodness and his grace and his mercy. But I do believe that in each of us, all of us are created in the image of God. But if you as a man pursue your wife, study her, get to know her heart, what makes her tick, what brings her up, what brings her down, what moves her, what motivates her. And if she gets redeemed and is cleansed by Christ and then cleansed by your word, by the washing of water, by the word, that you could cleanse her from any spot or wrinkle or any such thing and present her to yourself a glorious bride like Christ is doing to us as the church, I think you can find more magnificence, more beauty, more wonder, more things to be amazed at in the soul of your bride, of your wife, than you can right here. It is something else. It puts you in awe. When you look at the majesty of the mountains and the sky and all the glories that are here, you know, the great mountains are like his righteousness and his judgments. The heavens declare the glory of God. But I think we as individuals, and together as a marriage, we can become that glorious. We can portray to the world what God intended from the start, and that was to build a society and to fill this place up with His glory, with His image. And He does that by building families. He started the whole thing with a marriage, and He's continuing to build it through our marriages. So be encouraged, be blessed. And again, thank you so much to all those in Alberta, Southern Alberta, Taber, that made this all possible, that contributed to it, that came out and listened and gave us this beautiful opportunity to minister to you and to be ministered to, and to come on our way out see something like this.